Hello and welcome to another Flashpoint Campaigns Red Storm gameplay video. Still playing Hell on Wheels campaign scenario 1 hunting bears. Just got finished posting the last video wherein I became incredibly frustrated by some things that are going on in this game, and I have to tell you, I still am. I've issued a handful of orders. At this point, in fact, I've given 2 orders. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do. I've got guys who are getting pounded by artillery, but if I move them, it'll be 30 or 40 minutes from now before they go, and seeing as how they're under artillery fire, as soon as they come out of those hold orders, they'll be even more vulnerable. I've got 5 platoons that are refusing orders, and really the Soviets are on their back, and for whatever reason, either game mechanic or bug, I don't know. My guys are just not getting on with it. So, quick review. We have, I say that, I could send that guy down the road by dragging that victor. That would be ugly, and probably get him killed. We've taken this victory point hex. We've never taken that one, and I'm beginning to despair at ever doing so. We've got this one, and everybody's gotten shot up. We've got this one, and he was coming down the road. Doesn't seem to be now. It doesn't have any indication that he's moving. He's rearming. These guys may never move. Well, look, I forgot about that. The M106s are in position. See, and they've got a little bit of a reach. Really not much out there that I can expect to really hurt with those mortars. So I think I'll leave them on call. And this guy's got a fire mission there. This guy's got a fire mission there. Here, the other one is there. I think we should be seeing air support become available this round, which means we'll be able to use it next round. Either that, or I'm not sure if those A-10s are available to the AI to call in or not. They may be. So this guy's moving into place. This guy's moving into place. I lost track of this guy and this guy. They got in there before I could tell them I wanted them to go elsewhere. It probably would be wise. Let's see, he's going there. Let's see if we can go ahead and tell him to move, say, to there. And let's let it run. At this point, I'm kind of hoping that these other guys will get off their rear ends and go, and we'll take this place, and that maybe we'll defeat any counterattack they can manage to come take these 2 back, and we'll see the end of the game. So here we go. Got a little bitty firefight going down there because there's only little bitty forces left. And another across the world ATGM launch, and here comes the Hammer of God. And another artillery unit is resupplied. That's a good thing. Perhaps I should have had those M110s on counter battery. If they were getting counter battery missions in previous plays, I wasn't seeing it happen. And whether they can, well, let's see what this is. Whether they can affect off-map artillery, I don't know. There's another call out for missions that just didn't happen. Let's see. Next action at 11:17. Okay, we're still waiting for him. Section 1117. Well, maybe I misunderstood what I saw. Let's go. Oh, look, stop. They're moving. Well, how about that? Any action down here? No. All right, let's see it. We killed 3. Now there's 2. There were 4. I'm not sure I understand the way these things are numbered. 1, 2, 5. No, 1. I don't know what's going on here, but it's becoming entertaining. And he's launching ATGMs again. They got a lot of those things, don't they? 1, 3. I don't know how many were in there originally. I have no idea. There appeared to be 1 counter with 3. We've killed 4. Now there's 2. I may not have the right count, but there, we'll hit them with some big fat mortar shells and see what that does. And this is artillery called by the AI. 1. So I go from 2, lose 1, still be 2. Oh, did you just see that? 8 tanks just emerged. The better part of a company just emerged from the woods in the center. They're scraping up units from somewhere. And I got a headquarters with Overwatch. I keep saying that. On call. I am pretty sure I didn't give that order, but okay. The A-10s are now available. And that guy is still launching ATGMs. Yeah. Let's pause this thing for a second. Nobody else is moving, but he got up and moved. So there's... Whoa. It wasn't just 1, it's 2 came out of there. Wow. They're coming down the road. That's interesting. And these guys are still... One of them says they're going to start moving at 12:12, which is 50 minutes from now. The other one says at 11:42, which is 20 minutes from now. There's some kind of command and control thing happening here that I'm not grokking. All I know is there's 2 companies of tanks coming down the road. That's exciting. How many were there? Now there's 1. We killed 2. Now there's 2. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe that's I'm pretty sure I know what's going on there. We're probably getting oh my God, another another M1 died to artillery there. The Soviets have been rocked back on their heels, and their artillery is still just unbelievable. And they're coming down the center. I don't know where they're finding new units. But that M1's going to give that reconnaissance guy a a hard time, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there were two there, but one killed it. I really think that's about an uncertainty of what's there. We're getting an estimate, not a sure thing. And I remember reading something in the rules about that. It is frustrating we're not going to take that victory point, Hex, unless those other guys get up and move. Oh, that's nice. But it seems to be a relatively large armored force coming down the road. And that guy who just got shot on that ridge has been giving us 10 miles of grief sitting up there. Yeah, that sucked. 15 minutes. I can tell where the A10s are going to be. Well, I say that. Whoa, 8 to 10 to 8 to 6. 4 killed. Yeah, it's got to be. You think what's there, and as it becomes more certain, you get more accurate reports. Maybe less accurate reports. I don't know. 15 minutes. One thing I was certain of, that we would see a strong counter attack somewhere, and there it is. It might not be it's not like in the early stages of the game when they threw 180 tanks at us at Holmes, Sepsenhausen, whatever that place is. But it doesn't matter what they've got left. They seem to be able to scrape something together and come at us. I get real quiet when the artillery falls. It's just disturbing. I know that there are morale rules of some kind of morale rules in here, and I remember reading something about them in the game, and it has to do with the readiness. These guys seem to, and that's probably what they've been doing, resting somewhere out of sight till their readiness went up, so they could get up and going. That's why you haven't seen them before now. Okay, everybody got orders to fire, but I don't know where they landed. Something's going on with this artillery routine. Well, it's about time. Huh. 2 killed. It started with 4. It's still at 4. It's interesting. I really don't know what's going on, and I guess that's okay. My curiosity is piqued, and I just don't have an explanation. 2 killed 2, went from 4 to 3. You'd think at 500 meters they'd know what was in there, but it looks like that's, and 1 went from 7 to 4. Three tanks. Here it's 4 T-80s, so these guys are not identified, which is interesting. Nine minutes. Looks like there'll be survivors for the A-10s to come after. That'll be fun. Oh, now what do they do? Well, maybe there won't be survivors. And maybe they've had enough, huh? Will this strike actually happen? Yes, it did. Had several others that You know, something's up with that. Okay, 2113, wherever that is. They used to be there. Well, we sure are burning a lot of ammo to kill a patch of woods and road. 9 minutes to orders. There were 3 there, 2 there. I don't know. Holding my breath for the artillery. I didn't see where that fell. Oh, counter battery. Oh, oh. You know, if you've been listening, if you've been watching, I should say, several videos ago when we hit the 70% level, I said, you know, maybe I ought to just take my win and run, because inevitably I play beyond and I lose more than what I gain. Uh, the Soviet artillery is tearing us up. Um, I'm sure a wiser player would have a solution to this, and it might be that I should have never stopped. I should have just kept moving. Well, look, that made sense. It went 3-1 after 2 were killed, and then they stomp one of my guys. Okay. Rather than holding on these victory points, I should have continued to move into Steinbeck um, and beyond. Artillery's going to have a hard time keeping up with you when you're moving. I don't know. It sure would be interesting to know. And at some point, we'll get to see what's left on the board and know whether it would have been suicidal. Oh, look. 2 hours after they were given orders to move, the guys down on the bridge in the south are starting to roll. 3 tanks killed, but they were showing 1. Okay, that's just weird. Everybody's in 500 meters and we can't estimate how many vehicles there are consistently. I don't know. Maybe perfectly accurate. It may be perfectly what the game's supposed to be doing. But I haven't seen. I mean, I've played again. Oh goodness. I've played this scenario before, and I haven't seen quite this many anomalous uh, occurrences. And 8 more. Well, okay. I didn't call them anyway. 8 more. Apparently, the AI called probably on the N1 there, whatever that is. They probably called an airstrike in there, and well, they just ain't got a target. But 8 more coming out of the city. Okay, maybe it wasn't 8 because killing 1 got it to 3. You know, this is the kind of thing that may. Okay, we're done here. This is the kind of thing that may have been happening in the early game when, is for those of you who have been crazy enough to be watching from the beginning, when all this killing was going on in here. I mean, this 5 or 6 battalions of armor that is left smoking down in this little valley. That sort of anomalous numbering, you know, there's 8, there's 3, there's 1, I don't know, may have been happening, and it's so busy that we're not seeing it. 2 hours and 18 minutes left in the game. I'm going to pause this and see which way to go with some orders and stuff. Well, I've been sitting here thinking about this, and I think what we're going to do is call this one good. So let's go ahead and tell it to end the game now. And it tells us all the different victory points. And let's save the campaign. And let's see how we did. 72% rating, marginal success for the American player in extended play, 52% of starting. Um, Not exactly glorious. 10,950 victory point for victory point locations, 19,976 enemy losses. Um, it looks pretty lopsided, but we really got hammered. Um, so that's the way it breaks. Let's take a look at reported kills. And wow, 10 battalions, 6 battalions, just unbelievable. Um, so finish scenario 1 of 5. When you're finished browsing, you can go to the next scenario via the menu on file start next. OK. So let's see if we can figure a few things out. One, yeah, we were just getting and just getting reports of actual strength. That had 8, we killed some. It was reporting, I don't remember how many, but there it is, 5. Thought we had that down to 2. There's 3. Um, really did kill all those guys there. Charging in here probably would have been unpleasant, although if I could have coordinated it and hit with 3, these guys started moving, at least one platoon did. If I could have had 3 companies online and moving, and maybe that would have been the ticket. Take all 3 companies and just don't stop. Drive for the bridges. Maybe tell them all to go right there. Um, One thing we wouldn't have seen this insane losses of artillery. We just got our brains beat out in artillery. Um, and although there's a handful of armor left in here, a lot of this stuff would have been it would have been an interesting way to play it. Maybe that's the way to put it. Maybe, goodness, look at that. There's still 8 there. 3. So not exactly. Oh, that's an exit hex. That's interesting. Okay, we don't see that until at the end of the game. That's what the Soviets were going for, those exit hexes. Taking some pretty severe losses. It was an interesting game. Um, it most notably characterized by some screwy behavior, the AI. At one point, if you go back and watch some of the videos, these guys were really, there was a pretty good bunch of, it wasn't a gigantic force, but considering there was nothing between them and here or here except a handful of artillery units. I want to say we were an hour or more out before seeing the first reinforcements. They could have easily crossed here and torn the artillery up and gone out the door. Instead, the AI decided, well, gee whiz, there's a handful of guys still fighting back here in, um, let's see, Homseppensen. Well, who can tell all the, in fact, can we do this? No, it's just, I'm not sure you can. Do. I guess there's no way to get rid of those markers. Instead, a couple of battalions went back here and got involved in a several hour shoot up with the remnants, and they cleared it, by God, but they threw the game away. It could have won. The other things that we saw that were fascinating in my mind, frustrating but fascinating, were fresh forces charging and taking victory hexes, taking positions where I sent them, and then shutting down, just shutting down. These fellows here must have sat there for an hour and a half. These guys have still not all gotten moving an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Um, and that may very well be the intent of the designers, and that's fine. The game is great fun. It's a very good game, and although I know I've kind of scratched my head and groused a bit, it really is about I don't get it, and I guess I just need to play more and read more and hang out in the forums more. Um, Maybe I'll learn something. You never can tell. The Soviets really have been evaporated. There's just a fraction of what they began with, and a competent player, which I thought I might be about half competent, and I'm beginning to wonder that, may very well have charged in here or done something that was much more effective than what I did by coming here and grabbing these victory point hexes and saying, "Come to me." Well, they did. They hurled I don't know how many tons of steel out of tubes and tore up these beautiful M1s, which has grim, grim, grim implication for further scenarios in this campaign. Speaking of which, I don't know exactly when I'll be able to start that again. I will be out of pocket for uh, a week and more. Um, so just keep watching. More will be happening. And in the meantime, thanks. And I'm learning how to do this, and for those of you who have been following along, I appreciate it. Uh, Point and giggle in the comments if you're so inclined, and we'll see you online. Good night.